Om. 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 Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. Om Brahma Mira Striparan Takare Banushashi Bhumisito Buddha Guru Shukra Shani Rahu Keteva Sarve Graha Shantikara Bhavantu. Om Hrim Buryanama. Om Hrim Vrisapati Anama. Om Hrim Shukraya Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya. Well, greetings and welcome to another episode of KozmicKev100. This one is for February 10th, 2023. So, looking at the sky today, I would see the moon in the constellation of Virgo, if I was looking at the actual constellation. And the part of Virgo it would be in is a lunar mansion known as Hasta. And then later on today it'll go into a lunar mansion known as Shitra. So we'll talk about Hasta. Hasta is the fist or the hand, and it deals with industry, it deals with independence. It's ruled by the moon. It's all within the constellation of Virgo. Virgo does give service, it does give help, but its ruling deity is known as Savitri, which is a guise of the sun that causes purification. So Savitri has this kind of fiery purifying thing. And Hasta doesn't really want to be a leader, it wants to be a support. And it's fine with being independent and running its own business, but it's really not about ascending to the top of the chain. Also palmistry, the palm of the hand, even is associated with Hasta as well. And I think a lot of times in like communist revolutions you got the tight fist, and I think that was used in women's movement, for people to kind of, I think, express sort of anger or something. I mean, it does represent the worker, and so in a way there's a legitimate thing. Like women's work a lot of times generally is not paid for, what's considered traditional women's work. Not to say that men don't do some of that work too. Yeah, so there's just a lot of things that go down, and there's social expectations, and so it's difficult. And certain on the biological scale of gender, there's certain advantages to the female body versus the male body. There's going to be and so there's never going to be complete equality or justice, so to speak. Because there's differences and advantages and disadvantages. And but Hasta is about, it doesn't matter what your gender, it's about serving, helping others. And since it's ruled by the moon, there's a lot of intelligence there. In fact, the moon rules the mind and emotions in the Vedic astrology of Jyotish. And the other thing is Mercury gets exalted in this nakshatra. So this part of the sky, this is where Mercury gets exalted. So there's a lot of intelligence here. Now, in Western astrology today, we've got a moon in Libra. And so moon in Libra is about bringing a sense of balance and a sense of wanting to partner up with other people, and aesthetic. I consider Libra in tropical astrology to be the interior decorator of the zodiac. So, and it's nice too because it's on the other side of all the other planets. So it really truly is giving us balance this weekend. Now, tomorrow, of course, the moon will go into Scorpio at 10:34 a.m. in Western astrology. Tonight the moon will be out of Virgo into Libra, probably, or early tomorrow morning at least, sometime during the night in Vedic astrology. Now, as far as our planetary positions, everything's, pretty much pretty much the same, because Mercury, except Mercury is going to go into Aquarius, and so that's going to happen. So where is our friend Mercury? Yay! Yeah, so Mercury's moving over into Aquarius, and that's going to happen on, it must be Saturday? Yeah, Saturday at 3:22 in the morning. So almost Mercury in Aquarius, it's going to make our communication less dense. We've had Mercury in Capricorn for a long time. Mercury's still, of course, in sidereal Capricorn, but there'll be this element of like things easing up, just lightening up a little bit. Since Aquarius is an air sign, things get a little bit lighter, and by the end of the week, the sun will go into sidereal Aquarius too, into Vedic astrology Aquarius. So generally, there's going to be this desire for people to connect with each other, and there's going to be more feeling of hope and unity in some way, I would say. And it's a unity that's in diversity. It's a unity based on tolerance. It's not like everybody's going to be yay this side or boo that side. It's going to be, ultimately, let's look at each other as resources and not get caught up on politics, religious, ethnic background, gender, all that stuff. It's like it's come together time, folks. So, with that said, I'm going to get into the horoscope sign by sign, beginning with you, Aries. So let's look at what we got here. So, greetings, Aries. Welcome to your horoscope. So we've got this like a little stellium, Mercury, Sun, and Saturn together in the 11th house. So this is about partying, meeting people, social engagements, meetings after work with your coworkers, older siblings that have helped you, people that you look up to that have helped you. There's a lot of good fortune here. There's opportunities here to even make money in this 11th house. And karma with love, there could be a loss of love with Venus and Pisces. There could be this feeling of isolation, but generally looking towards spiritual stuff with Neptune there. And Jupiter in the first house, it really helps you. I mean, Jupiter, yes, in the first house motivates you. It's taking you to a better place. Chiron, the asteroid of the healer should be there too, and it's, Jupiter's going to get closer and closer to Chiron, and when that happens, there should be some new hope in the world of healing. There's a lot of different ways that could go. It's a romantic weekend. All right. Greetings, Taurus. Welcome to your horoscope. So, Venus and Pisces, that's 11th house along there with Neptune. So, socializing. I mean, this is where you meet somebody at church or at the temple that you could fall in love with, possibly. Or this is a party where you really have a lot of aesthetics. Some people say that Neptune's a higher vibration of Venus. It's like the agape love side of things. So there's also this element with you about socializing. Even Uranus, which is sort of like evolutionary astrologers' version of Aquarius. I mean, it's interesting. I don't really look at it that way because I know there's reasons why there's Saturn's rules Aquarius as well as Capricorn. And I could explain that sometime in the old Jyotish stories. There's a reason for that. And one of the reasons is that Cancer represents the moon queen or the moon goddess, and Leo represents the sun goddess. In the northern hemisphere, Cancer and Leo represent times when there's a lot of food and fertility, whereas Capricorn and Aquarius represent times when we don't have as much. And so that's why Aquarius really favors those who don't have much, those who've been lost and left out of the equation, seeking social justice. And so, in that sense, Saturn is about justice, and Saturn is actually about revolution to some extent too. Although I'm sure Western astrologers and their way of doing it might, disagree with me, and that's okay too. I have studied Western astrology for 40 years. I still look at it from time to time, but after learning the Vedic secrets and Jyotish, I've come to a conclusion that those are the constellations we're looking at, folks. We should pay attention to what we can see with the naked eye. This is how our ancestors did it. This is how people of old used to do it. And, there's a lot of shock and upset, and, I get comments from people, well, I like my Western sun sign, so I'm just going to keep that and go with that. And it's like, that's cool. But it's like when we open our minds to other ways of being, I find we get ourselves enriched, actually. It's an enrichment. Nothing's set. The only thing we can depend on is impermanence. Thank goodness, right? Okay, greetings Gemini, welcome to your horoscope. Well, Mars is still in your first house, so there's still this dynamic energy going on with you. And so I'd say now, the Geminis born in June are feeling more energy, and there's more motivation to exercise. There's more motivation to get out there. Mercury moving into Aquarius. This is in your 9th house. This is going to motivate you to learn even more. Your curiosity is really tingling, and this is a time for travel. This is a time of good fortune for you. This is a time to realize that you are not forgotten. Good things are going to come to you. And it's like, as long as we can stay in our heart, we're going to be okay. There's so many of us, we're geared towards head tricks. We're not geared to who's the most loving person in the classroom, they're going to get the reward. No, it's who's the smartest person, who's the person motivated in their head. And so I kind of think we're doing it wrong, folks. I think we're doing it wrong. And, some would say that's patriarchy. And, I could kind of see that in some ways, and others could say, the feminine aspect of God is coming back into the picture, and that they usually pay attention to matters of the heart and how things feel. That should be the culture, anyhow, from what I've observed. Mama loves us. Mama tried, even. And there's a lot of career stuff too, where you can change the aesthetics of your workplace, make your workplace more loving. Hey, we have a culture of love here, and I love it. My brother's work is like that. Let's see now. Greetings, Cancer. Welcome to your horoscope. Speaking of the moon goddess and that motherly love thing, Cancer, in Western astrology, we think of it as, emotional. Water signs are emotional. Water signs want connection. In Vedic astrology, the air signs want connection. That's why they, you still come to the same truth, most likely, with the two types of astrology. Anyhow, where is the moon? Well, the moon's going to be from Libra to Scorpio. So, moon being in Scorpio, that's your 5th house, Cancer, this weekend. So, this looks like a good week for you, really. The weekend looks good. Aquarius is a kind of a rough one. It's the 8th house. So, a lot of things happen in Aquarius that aren't under our own control. And we have to remember that, that we can't control everything. And I think when we're able to relinquish control and just say, wow, the world is sort of an ungrounded place, and we got to have compassion for ourselves and for other people around us, where there is no blame, there's just accepting what is in all of its uncomfortableness and all of its imperfection, and just move on from there. Okay. Greetings, Leo. Welcome to your horoscope. We want to move from the heart. We're heart-based people. Leo, ultimately, I think in both systems talks about soul truth. But Western astrology will say it's, in the heart, since it's a lot of it's Vedic Cancer, most of them. And as we're looking, the lunar position is like, this might be a good weekend just to lay low, because we're coming to a full moon, and the full moon will be in Leo on eventually. Well, no, actually, the moon is in Libra, so it's going to be a while. That was last weekend, right? Okay. So the moon is in Scorpio over the weekend, but it goes into Sagittarius. So, by Monday, Tuesday, you'll be feeling like yourself. You'll be feeling, I want to get out there. I want to move with the people. And Aquarius is your partnership sign. So things involving romance, partnership, but also the workplace, career, how you make contracts, how you negotiate with other people are going to be big. Sometimes in tropical astrology, they say the 7th house is about open enemies. So, in Vedic we say it's the 6 a lot of times, where we have obstacles and enemies. It's hard to say, what I will get out of this is that you're concerned about romance. You might be working on your taxes and legal requirements because of Saturn being in the 7th house. Your sun there, you're much more aware of your relationships right now. And then with Mercury there now moving into Aquarius, you become a sweet talker. And you're able to move forward and get what you want, basically. Greetings, Virgo. Welcome to your horoscope. For Virgo, it's just like getting enough sleep, enough vitamin C, drinking enough water, not overeating, not stressing. It's hard. Wintertime, I feel like I've put on weight from overeating, from when I was more athletic before the lockdown and when I was younger. All of us have gotten older. All of us are getting older constantly. Even the newborn babies just born, they may be getting stronger, but we're all getting older. We're all moving forward. I suppose it's just a time for you to relax into your own personal dignity. Relax into that person that you're becoming. That person that you want to be, and that is the real stuff right there. And serving, helping other people. This is a place where you do your karma to make it so when sun's transiting your 12th house, it's not going to be so bad because you've done the work. It's making donations, volunteer work, giving to the poor. It requires a little bit of sacrifice. And when we're focusing on doing good, we get less depressed. Helping others actually builds up your immune system. Okay. Well, greetings, Libra. Welcome to your horoscope. So, moon's in your first house, and so especially Friday, this Venus day, you're kind of on top of your game. Aquarius rules your 5th house. That's love. That's creativity, creative expression. This is being with your children. This is where you like to travel as well and get education, learn more, teach more. Parenting skills get refined here. Lots of good things happen this week. Always with Saturn, there's always this stop sign, this limitation. Sometimes, we feel like things are not moving as fast as we'd like to in those areas, and that's okay. You know what I mean? It's like one foot's on the brake. Mercury wants to go, learn, do, and Saturn's like, hey, take your time. See what you didn't notice there? Go back, do it over again. There's that element. And Aquarius is like, oh, I love people. Let's have a party. Let's have a celebration. You're like, oh, okay, we could do that too. I say, especially if the celebration was, about, people on your sports team. Maybe, I don't know. That could be it too. All right. Well. Greetings, Scorpio. Welcome to your horoscope. So, Aquarius time is sort of more of a cabin fever type of time, especially here in the northern hemisphere. Being at home, taking care of older parents, news about older parents and what they're going through, and just, having loved ones that might be older, even grandparents, caring for them, caring for your house, caring for fixed assets too. Finding what your personal happiness is, what really makes you happy, and indulging in that happiness, getting to know yourself on a better level. All of this is seen in the fourth house. And fourth house is kind of opposite the midheaven, where we perform our duties for other people. This is sort of like we're taking care of ourselves, we're taking care of our family, we're taking care of our house, and that those things do matter. And ancestors like it when we do that stuff. Right? And then, of course, the moon will be in your first house Saturday, Sunday. It's just a fun weekend for Scorpio. All right, here we go into Sagittarius. So, greetings, Sagittarius. Here's your horoscope. Jupiter in Aries in the fifth house, there with Chiron. So, love is a healing power. Jupiter is a Karaka, a activator for the fifth house. So, a lot of things dealing with children, dealing with projects, dealing with your expression, dealing with your creative works is going to come out. It's going to come out strong. Now, Aquarius is the third house. This is your neighbors. This is your siblings. This is the environment you live in. This is also short trips, checking things out, taking a trip within your environment, within your region. I consider my region to be from Klamath Lakes down to the Southern Buttes, basically. The northern Sacramento Valley River and the Sacramento Pit River watershed. And so, includes some of Southern Oregon a little bit, and a lot of Northeast California and North Central California, even some of Northwest California, but generally watersheds that are heading into the Sacramento Valley before they head up to the Bay Area, the Pacific Ocean. And then south of the Buttes, it's still part of the region, but it's a little different. We're getting into a more of an urban place, a wider valley, a place that's been more settled over the last 170 years. And so for you, I would just say working on communication, working with your hands, taking short trips, enjoying your life. Heading over to Capricorn now. Greetings, Capricorn. Welcome to your horoscope. So what I see with you right now is that there's some deep insights. You're getting more and more insights. Eventually, Pluto gives us insights. It takes us from another place. It takes us to a world. And eventually, Pluto is going to visit Aquarius, from what I understand. I'm not exactly sure when that's going to happen. Maybe it's not until next year or something. But, when it does happen in 2024, things are really going to change. We can depend on that, and especially in the world, I think, of like artificial intelligence and all of that, but water, how we work with water is going to change too. Saturn's in Aquarius, Sun in Aquarius, Mercury, the pressure's off now in some ways. It's all about money. It's about taking care of family right now for you. You're still making friends. You're still seeing people. Weekend looks good. Next weekend might even be better. So just keep working hard, exercising, getting yourself in better shape physically. I think that's part of the agenda for right now, to help increase your stamina at this time. All right, here we go. Well, greetings, Aquarius, and welcome to your horoscope. Well, you're the flavor of the month, and I want to give a shout outs to Aquarian friends that I know are having birthdays this week. At least today, my friend Jessica is having a birthday, and I think she's turning 44 or something like that. And my friend Curtis Davis is also having a birthday. I believe he's turning 52. And there's birthdays all through the week. Scott Richmond over in Florida, he's having a birthday. I believe he's turning 68, and on the 12th. And there's a few other folks that escape my mind, but just don't take it personally. Happy birthday to all my Aquarian friends right now. This is good. This is your time. This is your time to really build slowly and steadily, to share your ideas. The weekend today looks great for you. The weekend looks like you could be performing, doing some things. And as we go further, it looks like, you know, you're here to celebrate your body and dance and be active. Be full of life, you know, and forward we go. Greetings, Pisces, and welcome to your horoscope. Weekend looks great with Moon going into Scorpio, and so this might be a travel weekend for you. This might be a time where you go to an ashram or a monastery or just a beautiful place out in nature, some place to recreate, some place to uplift yourself. We all can use, you know, an upliftment of our spirits at some times, because it is, you know, times are what they are, and we never know often until we get into a situation the gravity of what it is, the reality of what it is that hits us. Now, you've got Neptune in the first house, so you're in a good place to look at your spiritual life, to make improvements on your spiritual life. Venus is in your first house. You're cultivating love. You're attracting love. You are love. You're lifting that up. And so, you know, we're on this waning moon schedule this week. You know, where the moon is diminishing from the full moon we had last weekend, and so we're looking forward to this up and coming new moon that we're going to have next weekend, and on the 20th, which will be in Pisces, and that's going to just get a whole different flavor and get us a little closer to spring and that kind of hopeful feeling of positivity. And may your life be good. May you love your loved ones. Don't forget to ring the bell notifications, subscribe, please share. I want to thank everybody who's made comments, my friend Rebecca, my friend Shant, to Charlene, to Word, and there's a couple of others of you, and hopefully I'll get to you by next week. But blessings. Om Shanti, 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 Om Tat Sat.